Evening, folks. Or should I say evening, Craig? I think you might be the only person watching this thing, mate. How you doing? Thanks for sorting out our accommodation, by the way, Craig. Much appreciated. Let me have a quick look. Let me just get a little YouTube live panel. Hang on a second. There we go. Right. Well, we've got 5 watching or listening, whatever. So sorry, it was a wee bit late. I'd got a busy night actually. Just back for the gym. So yeah, went down to the gym waiver. So all good. So anyway, yeah, tonight is going to be. Hopefully, I'm going to try and keep it to an hour if I can. Continuing my little featurette thing, where I play 10 of my kind of favourite SID tunes from a particular musician. We're going to kick off. This is, I think, the fourth one actually. We're going to go to Mr. Martin Galway. Martin Galway is actually the nephew of James Galway, who used to be, I don't know if he's still alive. He was a famous flutist. Is that what you call it? Is that what you call somebody that plays a flute? A flutist? A fluitist? Flutist. We'll call him a flutist. Yeah, Martin Galway is actually his nephew. So there you go. Yeah, James Galway. He was quite popular back in the sort of 80s, 70s and 80s. Um, yeah. Anyway, right. Listen, the reason I had the holding music on for quite a bit was because I was trying to pull together my 10 sort of favourites. I didn't actually realise that he didn't do as much as I thought he'd done, which is a bit weird. But anyway, let me just go to PC screen. There we go. Right, in no particular order. Evening, Steve. How are you, mate? How's the subscriber numbers going, Steve? Are you managing to kind of get back? Hopefully you are, mate. Uh, yeah, I had a uh, really weird issue for the last couple of days. When I tried to watch any YouTube video, it was coming up the video was unavailable. Please try again later, and it was even my own stuff. And what made it doubly confusing, I was able to like upload videos, but when I tried to watch them, I couldn't watch them. I rebooted the computer, and that seemed to kind of fix it, but it was still doing it with 1 or 2 videos, just coming up video not available. So I don't know what's going on. It seems to have kind of fixed itself. No, absolutely, Steve. I mean, at the end of the day, mate, the people that watch your channel, I could probably lose, I don't know, 4,500 subscribers, and it wouldn't make any difference because there's only about 200 people that actually watch it. That's the fact. People get hung up on, oh yeah, I've got 200 subscribers. Yeah, look at how few people actually watch your videos. It's tiny, absolutely tiny. So anyway, right, let me before I start, I'm going to do a quick not so much shout out. Slopes Game Room, Daniel. He's got a really good channel, big channel. He does a lot of like big, massive videos all about like kick scammers and what have you. Anyway, he. I'll cut a long story short. He his channel has been the YouTube have told him that his channel is going to be deleted in the next few days. And if you go to his channel, you find out that it's not his fault at all. And he's desperately trying to get in touch. Similar to like Steve actually. Steve lost his channel. Um, and trying to get in touch with anybody from Google or YouTube is nigh on impossible. I mean, Slopes Game Room's got 200,000 subscribers, so they're a huge channel. But even he himself is struggling to get any sort of help, and it's his full-time job. I do feel for the guy. Um, if his channel goes, that's his kind of job up the spout. He's desperately trying to get a hold of somebody that works for YouTube or Google. So if anybody knows anybody that works for either of these, let me know because yeah, the problem with all these, this is AI now. AI comes along and decides. Yep, it was like my Facebook. My Facebook account was hacked well, 4 years ago. Um, and apparently this hacker had uploaded something indecent, and my account was closed. I'd had the account for like what 12 years, and it was just closed. No way to try and dispute it or anything, and that's the problem with these YouTube places. It's completely free. It's a massive organization. Trying to get any sort of help is nigh on impossible. So if anybody can help, please let me know. Right, anyway, let's get back on track. Martin Galway, right, the first one we're going to go for is Terra Cresta. Terra Cresta, there we go. Right, hopefully we've got the sound. Right, let's take it away. Yeah, what a tune. Fantastic. Like I said, he's actually written a lot less than I thought he'd written, which is strange. I mean, when you compare him to Rob Hubbard, but then there again, Rob Hubbard was just insane. I don't know how many how many tunes he actually wrote. Yeah, you're asking what's happened to Martin Galway. I'd heard that he drives taxis, and it's something that niggles me. It's either Ireland or Germany. Um, I have messaged him a couple of times, I think, or once, and I'm sure he read the message and then just never. Michael Uber Galway, yeah. Um, just never got back to me. So same with Tony Crowther. He took. I sent him a friend request. Oh, I don't know. About 4 years ago, and he accepted my friend request about a month ago, and I immediately messaged him, and he read the message, and just hasn't responded. So it's easy to sort of judge somebody and say, oh, he's just being ignorant, whatever. But like we all know, we've all got stuff going on in our life, and if some unknown random message you messages you, there's nothing to say that he has to respond. Although politeness, I would say, I think at least at the very minimum, an acknowledgement to say thanks for the invite, no thanks. But anyway, I thought when he accepted the friend request, I was onto something, but evidently not. But you never know. You never know. Right. Anyway, that was Terra Cresta, and the next one I'm going to go for is Arkanoid. Um, yeah, this came out in 1987. I think Martin Galway was one of the first, I think, to actually use samples in his music. At that point, I never. Oh, absolutely, Peter. You don't know. Who knows? But like I says, if somebody's very polite and is asking you if you want to come on their channel, you know, a simple no would be nice rather than because that's twice. I've messaged him twice over the years, and both times he reads the message and doesn't get back to me. But anyway, that's his loss, shall we say? Right. Anyway, yeah, Arkanoid. This does use some samples. Back then, I didn't actually understand what a sample was. I just thought, bloody hell, that is impressive. And it is impressive, even if it is a sample. We're talking about a Commodore 64. So let's get this one going. Never knew that, Keith. The samples are from Cobra and the Spectrum. Actually, now you mention it, it does kind of sound like a Spectrum sound effect. Interesting. Never knew that. Right, next one. That was Arkanoid. Yeah, next one is it's one of the it's a tough old game on the C64, released by Imagine when it was bought over by Ocean, and you can see me typing it, so yeah, you can guess what it is. It's Greenberry. When did that come out? It came out in 1986. So yep, let's take it away. Got there eventually. Evening, Sterner. How are you? I'm not quite sure about that little shit drum solo at the end there, but yeah, that kind of screaming kind of synth. I think he must be using all three voices or channels, I think we call it, at once. Really quite a powerful stuff. But yeah, great song, quite short but very sweet. Right, this next one, it's one of my favourite SID tunes. It's just, again, it's, you could probably say, well, it's not really, it's cheating, but at the end of the day, still put it on the C64. Uh, and it's Hyper Sports, the tune, sorry, the theme, excuse me, the theme tune to Chariots of Fire, which is one of my favourite films of all time. Just such an inspirational film. I've got a lot of happy memories watching that with my dad. And yeah, anytime if I'm just feeling a wee bit down, stick on Chariots of Fire, and that never kind of ceases to kind of lift my mood. Um, I might actually watch it tonight. Hmm. Yeah, and the first time I loaded Hyper Sports, I was this was probably the one game that blew me away with the music. I mean, I know Monty and the Run's probably my favourite SID tune, but hearing this on a hearing what was one of my favourite musical tracks, and then hearing it getting replicated on a C64, it just absolutely mind-boggling. It blew my head. It really, really did. So anyway, let's take away. This is Hyper Sports. Yeah, I know he didn't write that piece, but he absolutely nailed it. Every voice, he captured the main, captured the track absolutely perfectly, in my opinion. Really, really powerful. Hey Ray, how you doing, buddy? Good evening. After purchasing a C64, Hyper Sports was the very first game I loaded up. I couldn't believe the Ocean Loader one music, and then this. Yeah, that was a double treat. That one, eh? Bloody hell. Um, yeah, awesome, absolutely awesome. I'm just laughing at Martin Galway's picture. It looks like he's taking a selfie when he's been out with the dog, taking the dog out for a piss. And he's like, "Fuck, I better get a picture uploaded onto Deep Sid Accordion." And that's where he got it. As much as I enjoy the original piece by Angelus, I can't help but love Galway's version more. Yeah, I mean, yeah, as I says, that's one of my favourite musical tracks. It just the film is it lifts my spirits. It probably made me go out and do take up running. Just a fantastic film. So anyway, yeah, that was the theme tune to Hypersports. Now the next one. Now don't laugh. I'm not I'm not 100% sure familiar with this one, but I do know it's meant to be brilliant. That's why I've picked it. And it's Miami Vice. Now I was playing it the other day there, and I was sort of like, the music's all right, but apparently it's a certain track that is the really good one. So let me just find it. Uh, is it the title track that's meant to be really really good? How do you spell Miami? Is that how you spell Miami? Yeah, it is. Yeah, Miami Vice. Right. So you need to keep me right. What? Let me know if I've picked the right one. Is that it? It is. Cheers, Keith. Bear in mind this game is shit. I don't know if that's me. Is that out of tune a wee bit? It's kind of out of sync. Was that how it should sound? I'm going to stop that. I'm not familiar with that tune, but that doesn't sound right to me. It sounds like it's a bit out, so just bear with me. What I'm going to do, um, when I did the SID shows with Lacosa and Panther used to convert them into dual SIDs, so you were getting it in stereo. Now let me just have a look. So I'm going to see if I can play. Right, I'm going to play this one again. Hopefully this will work. I'll move that over there actually. Right. Just bear with me, folks, while I. That sounds much better. Yeah, what a piece that is. I'll be honest, that's probably the only, I think the second time I've actually heard that. It is long, but it just, I mean, I don't think it's like a great actual like tune, but the quality of the instruments and that he's used is phenomenal. It really is. Got to see that the visualization thing you get in like Winamp, we just take for granted now. It's like something that would have you would have needed like a £200,000 computer to generate something like that. It's doing all that on the fly, which is mental. But no, absolutely fucking cracking piece. So anyway, like what I've managed to do, because obviously that Deep SID, whilst it is a great website, you can play SID music and what have you. We were having a few problems getting it to. It was out of sync. Some of the kind of the sort of like the percussion. So what I'm now going to do, and I'm going to do that in future ones, I'm going to try and use the tunes that Panther puts together because they come out really clear and they're also in stereo as well. So yeah, this next one, this is a tune that again I keep saying I know I keep repeating myself, but the first time I heard this, it was one of the first incredible SID tunes I ever heard. And it was a tune that they used to accompany the loading of Ocean Games. I think there was 5 incarnations of it. Um, I've chosen the second one. I think, and I'm sure Keith, you'll be able to keep me right. I think the first two Ocean Loader, 1 and 2, were Martin Galway, and then I think was it the third, fourth, and fifth, or was it just the fifth, fourth, and fifth were done with other people? And some people say that they're the best ones, but I think this is fantastic. Is this actually based on a real track of any kind? So I'm going for the Ocean Loader 2. Yeah, what a piece. Topper, as Mark would say. Just it's such a powerful piece that again it's hard to really find any fault in that piece. I mean it's an old one. But it's just phenomenal. It really, really is. So I'm talking complete pish. What do I know about Sid tunes? I thought you were talking about the siren thing at the start of Green Beret, Mark. I'll just stay with the chat because I know nothing. Yeah, what a track! What a track! Right, four to go, folks. This next one, yeah, let me think. Let's delete that one. Right, this next one is from a game that I'm not a fan of. I'm not a fan of it in the slightest, and a lot of people going about the main track, but this is the high score, and again, it's a very very short piece, but it's damned impressive, and this is the high score from Rambo. Yeah, short but sweet. Sorry, I'm just messing about with the the visuals thing. It's quite funky actually. So three to go. Right, this next one. I feel like I've played a lot of these because I've been doing a ocean themed live stream thing. This next one is a game. I'm not a massive fan of the game, but this it's just so different. It's real kind of progress, kind of rock type thing. You can tell that what's his face. Yeah, Martin Galway was just trying stuff, and it might not be everybody's cup of tea, but I think it's great, and it's the theme tune to Parallax, or Parallax, I should say, and it's a long one. What a track, bloody hell. I'd forgotten how good that is actually. The last 2 minutes are just mental. It's a bit like It's about like the lead guitar player putting his guitar up to the amp and just getting feedback. Yeah, he's obviously just having a lot of fun making that. Absolutely fantastic. So anyway, two to go, folks. You can probably guess what these are. You can certainly guess what my last one's going to be. That was Parallax, and the second last one is from a game that came out from Konami, published by Imagine Software. Again, when they were bought over from Ocean, and it's the theme tune to Your Kung Fu. think that track might just be my second favourite Martin Galway track. I forgot how good that was. That just sounds epic. What I need to actually do is I need to watch this video downstairs through my surround of sound and get proper sound. Yeah. Anyway, there's no surprise what my well, it will be my favourite Martin Galway track. Yeah, it's also one of my probably my favourite. Well, yeah, it's maybe Pipeline 2. Yeah, it's in my top three C64 games, and it's Whizball. Absolute epic. So, yeah, let's finish off this video, folks, with Whizball. Enjoy. Yeah, there we go. That's how we close the show. Yeah, I think Martin Galway, whilst Rob Hubbard was like king of the hi-hat and sort of melodies, Martin Galway was, I mean, his screaming, wailing synths, so powerful. Craig, you're right that I've just showcased tonight who's the best. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to. it's hard to not think of Martin Galway as probably the best. He's done a lot less than like Rob Hubbard and the rest of the guys, but that is just mind blowing, absolutely mind blowing. Good evening, Underdog Society 2.0. Milk drop. I have absolutely no idea. It's just the built-in visualization. I think it's better than just looking at my face all day. All right enough. I've kind of spoiled it with keeping the webcam on. So anyway, folks, listen. I'm going to get going. That was my. I mean, it's hard to pick your favourite tracks. There's so many good ones. But these were 10 of the tracks that I think are just fantastic. So yeah, I'll be back probably. In fact, I won't be back next Wednesday because I'm going to be down in Swindon. So the next SID top 10 SID tunes will be 2 weeks today probably. But anyway, folks, listen, I'll be back on Sunday night for the usual. It's going to be the last part of the Ocean 8-bit games, or sorry, the C64 games. So if you want to watch me making a fumbling about trying to play games, then join me about 7 o'clock. And finally, folks, have a nice evening. Until next time, as always, thank you very, very much for watching.